Let's go M.I.A here, yo. M.I.A is saying a lot of stuff. M.I.A, if y'all remember Paper Planes, she's also on Swagger Like Us as well. For those people that may not know who she is, because she has not been at least stateside music wise popping. Like not with the popping, just not in the main zeitgeist.
I find it difficult that when people make it, they always fucking turn around and thank Beyonce, because that's bullshit. And enough is enough. I'm fucking coming for everyone now, because no, the success of all that shit always stems from God motivating me to get the fuck up out of bed and write some fucking songs. And then it changed so many people's destinies, and all these people are multi-millionaires, really successful. Even, you know, Azealia Banks could be talking about how I need to bleach my skin to be accepted in the music world, and that's why no one's fucking supporting me, is because I'm fucking dark skinned. Can fuck off, because even her music career started with Diplo, who I fucking put on the map. So fuck all of them, fuck all these bitches. And even Adele, it's like fucking guns out for this bitch, because she's retired now, but her career would not exist if I hadn't made Jonathan Dickens into a manager who is her manager. She signed to XL because of me. Nick Huggett was my A&R who signed her. And this bitch, when she gets an award, she thanks Beyonce. And I'm sick and tired of all of these fucking women who don't want to give respect to me because I'm a brown woman in music. Had I been Jewish, black, or anything else, I would not be going through this. And that is facts. If I was white, black, or Jewish. Because you know why? I have been taking the fucking high road for 20 years. And so this is why I think now it's peak. It's peak because this is not about ego. This is about recognizing God. This is why it was very important for me not to compromise myself on many things, like keeping my clothes on and not promoting sex and doing all these other things. There was a reason. So when people use me, then get up to the top and thank fucking Satan, it fucking pisses me off. Yeah, swords out. Swords out. Wow, God picked this random fucking Sri Lankan who was completely incapable. So incapable, no musical training, can't sing, doesn't look good. Didn't have the right fucking hair and nails and all the rest of it, or whatever it fucking takes for you to fucking accept a pop star. Like, none of it. I had none of it. None of it. Or she's so like, nah. She's like, so much ego. She thinks she's all that. Like, she thinks da-da-da-da. But this is why they managed to keep the brown girl in the music industry, which still has the sound that everybody has and still generates careers out of, and never gives me credit. They can't empower God. This is why Adele has to get on the podium and thank Beyonce, when actually she did it because of my manager, my label, my A&R, and all of the shit I created for her to exist. I can name the list of all the people. Beyonce herself changed her career to becoming more radical and radicalized and politicized after Borders. You can check your timeline. But she will never say, oh, M.I.A inspires me. She will never say that.
You can pause it. You'll stop it.
And all of them got to get away with it because they just keep getting praised by the same fucking system that destroys me. Because
We need to pause. All right, pause. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's it. Okay, we can dissect this really quick.
All right, go ahead.
I think it's interesting how people, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Adele, whomever else that is at the top of their game, the negative impact that and what people are always gonna have something to say. The interesting thing about M.I.A. is how she just projected everything, every insecurity that she has onto these people.
100%.
And so I'm like,
I was with her up until she said brown girl, but then said if she was black, that doesn't make
it doesn't make sense.
I was with her with like with her what she was saying. I was like, okay, and then she said,
I'm not even sure that I'm with her because listen. I have like M.I.A. t-shirts. Like I was a M.I.A. fan. Like, but when you say that, oh, I promoted something different, bitch. Gang-a-lang-a-lang-a-lang-a-langa is Purple Haze is the next line. No, you're not. Like you talking about drugs and shit. You was quirky. It was a sound at that time that nobody had heard, which is what made you popular. And it wasn't like M.I.A. was even mainstream like that until Paper Planes. I'm not gonna y'all don't know Sun Showers or anything like that. So it was that song, that beat that was that crossed over for Paper Planes because nobody, the average person, did not know who M.I.A. was. It was like she popped on the scene. So what's happening is that your ego is so bruised and upset and you have whatever insecurity because don't forget you said like I'm a Sri Lankan girl. I didn't have no musical training. I'm brown. I can't sing. I didn't have this look or that look. Okay. For the time that you had you did have some level of worldwide success. When she hopped on Swagger Like Us, when they sampled Paper Planes on Swagger Like Us, when she performed at the Grammys, you was about to pop. You were pregnant. And then it was like, we never really heard from you after that. I don't know. You was dealing with some.
She dropped a whole bunch of albums. I'm looking at her thing now. She dropped like 4 albums after that.
I'm not privy to it.
She dropped.
Also, sometimes people she kind of one of them aluminum foil hats people. Now, I know she dropped a clothing line this year that was supposed to repel, 5G waves or whatever.
Oh, she's one of those folks.
Yes. And so, I think it's crazy how Beyonce, Adele, the fact that she even bought up Azealia Banks is crazy.
It was interesting the Diplo thing because that was the dude that brought her in the game because that was her boyfriend.
Yeah. So she's saying that okay, these people are successful, or more so, particularly Beyonce just catching strays. Beyonce catching strays. You clearly have beef with Adele. That is where your beef is. And is that
the main thing you think? You think it's really?
Yeah, it's the Adele thing because how you mad that Adele thanked Beyonce, and it wasn't even. She's talking about when Adele won Album of the Year over Beyonce, and it's like Adele is saying she enjoyed this album. It wasn't like, oh, I thank Beyonce because Beyonce. It wasn't like that.
You know what? You're right. I'm just thinking about it. You're right. You're 100% correct. Because they both from London. They came up in that kind of scene around. Yep, that's her beef.
My manager,
Adele.
Yeah, I introduced you to my manager or whatever. I put my manager on you. I put my A&R on you. Blah 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 blah. So you mad because this girl that could sing? Because don't forget, you said you couldn't. That only gets you so far. You see where Britney Spears is. You see what they did to her.
Yeah.
And you still was able to still transcend a lot of the bullshit. You were still putting out albums. Again, I wasn't privy, but based on what you're saying. So I'm like, okay, what is it? It's not like Beyonce is saying to these people, oh, you have to worship in order. Some people can just admire people. People can acknowledge how somebody has influenced their career. We're not ever gonna just like how people are mad now that I think it was what magazine just named Beyonce the artist of like the 21st century. I think it was like Variety or Billboard or somebody. And they said the reasoning why, yes, Taylor has sold more numbers than her. But it's because Beyonce has transcended so many decades. Beyonce been in the game for like 30 years. So we're not going to deny her work ethic. And so somebody could, alone on that is, we've had men say Beyonce's work ethic made me want to go harder at whatever area that is. If there were, it was like a football player that said that. Mm-hmm. So I don't really think that her beef is necessarily with Beyonce. I think it's also, I think M.I.A. at one point was on Rock Nation. Ooh. What you mad about? Beyonce ain't on Rock Nation. You ain't said shit about Rihanna. It's a lot of artists that have been on Rock Nation. Bridget Kelly, all these people.
All those labels. It's been a lot of people.
You say what?
All those labels. It's been a lot of people.
It's been a lot of people. Beyonce was on Columbia, and I think, and she's still with Columbia. I know Parkwood is a division of that, the label that she owned. So it's like, girl, what did you really saying? You need to go talk to your therapist and check your ego at the door. Because you mad because ain't nobody giving you credit. Maybe you don't have the impact that you thought you had, boo-boo. And this isn't because I'm a Beyonce fan. Like I just said, I fuck with M.I.A., but this is just weird.
The beef is
and I also feel like low-key that clip might be old, but I can't remember. I feel like I saw her. Maybe she just be bitching about shit a lot.
You think that's old?
I don't know. I could be making that up. I feel like I saw her yelling about something else. She be yelling. She just be in her feelings, and it don't make sense.
Nope. 3 days ago.
Yeah. Okay.
We on time.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. 3 days ago she dropped this, so we on point. We ain't behind like with the Popeyes when we're already got
that Popeye ones was still funny though.
Oh, it was still funny. People still laughed at it, so it still don't even matter. But I get. It's a hard thing, man, and because you could think about it. Like, think about if you kind of fostered a certain kind of thing, like because M.I.A. came out way before Adele, right? Bless you.
Thank you. Yes.
But she came out way before Adele, right?
I'm gonna say a little bit before because Chasing Payments. What was that? 18. That was her first album. Then it was 21. Because Chasing Pavements was, I definitely was in college.
The first M.I.A. album, I think it was 2006. I think when I looked before.
And then look at Adele's first album. I think it was either 18 or 19.
Hold on. So M.I.A. Her first album was the one before the big one is 2005. The big one is Kala in 2007.
But what is Adele's album?
Yep, Adele. Her first album. Damn, he's got long ass pages. 2008.
Yeah. So just a little bit before.
So, and I wonder, I mean, she maybe, I mean, and she feels, she probably, and there's a part of me that understands and feels rightly so that you feel that anger Because if you did put them on these different people and you did put people in position and nobody gives you your props, and I'm wondering if it's a thing of like, dude, you won't even call me just in some general shit. Like, you act like I don't exist. But the thing is, and she said it somewhat in there, that the music business is fucked up, and you should have kind of knew that in general. Maybe that these relationships were just surface based from the beginning, and y'all was maybe rolling together doing stuff in the UK or whatnot. But maybe this was all transactional. You didn't know, but now you know, and you could kind of move from that, you know. And I get her feeling some type of way, but I don't know why Beyonce's catching strays. But I feel for her though. Like, I really do feel for her, because I can imagine you being in a position like that, and like you hooked up everybody, putting people in position, and motherfuckers won't even give you a holler back on some just what's crack, like just to see how you doing.
But that's unfortunately, like you said, that's
the music industry.
It's just the music industry, and that's a lot of industries.
Yeah.
So it's sad. But also, it's like your anchor is directed at the wrong people. Like, you mad at whatever those two homeboys, like those two men are.
You're a Diplo.
Or maybe you feel like you should get a percentage of a finder's fee. I don't know. But at some point.
And I still like to think of like a brown girl in this industry. Like, and I you know
that makes sense, but it's not like.
But I get it, because traditionally in music, nobody's really ever seen a Far East girl or a girl from India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh over there really be super successful. Get that, 100%.
I would say depending on
in the U.S. If we talk about, and that's where most people want to blow up is here. Let's just be for real. It don't matter if you big over in Sri Lanka. Think about how many artists. Like
because that's what Bollywood, because Bollywood makes so much fucking money.
But that's don't matter. Like, you want to be number one in the US.
I get that, but sometimes that's just not your story.
Right. But she grew up in the UK too. So we got to separate her a little bit from that. She is Western. She wanted to be big. Them UK artists want to be big in the US.
Yes, but she had her moment. But
the moment, for whatever reason, isn't here, and she looks at it and feels some type of way about it. And maybe, and I there's so many different pieces. It because she has jumped out the window on Adele. I'm just wondering if there's a thing like Adele won't even holler at her and give her this in general flowers. But at the same time,
why does Adele owe her?
But at the same time, though, Dom, man, when you do something for somebody, you shouldn't do it for the reason of them getting accolades. If I just do something for you, I just do it for you.
Exactly.
And my karma or whatever, I just paid it forward for you, man. Whatever. You ain't gotta
listen. That's like my situation where I'm like, oh, so and so, I saved you. No, it's like, okay, get your shit together so you can be able to stand on your own 2 feet and move it along. Mm-hmm. This was here for the moment. This is what happened. Let's move on. I don't need that. God did whatever he did and put me here for whatever reason. I don't understand it. But I'm not going to block my blessing being a dick. So, I don't know. Just weird. It's weirdo behavior. And maybe somebody, maybe some blog or somebody will call her for an interview and maybe, break down and investigate a little further. Maybe she and Adele were best friends, and then Adele, she put Adele on, and then that's it. But I don't know. It's definitely cringe.
Yeah, because it's like, man, like I said, I understand that vitriol, but when you're doing something for somebody, you just got to do it. Mm-hmm. And you would love the prop. I mean, and maybe you don't. Just you did it for them. They was in the move. They took that moment. They did that.
And maybe, you know what it could be? Maybe you didn't get paid out how you could have been. That's what I think about. I was like, it gotta be because if you just think about it, if let's say you did put somebody on and this person became, ended up being a bigger artist than you. As long as your money good, you probably like shit. That's cool.
She was
But
on Rock Nation too, for the record.
you said what?
He was on Rock Nation for a minute.
Yeah, she was on Rock Nation. I remember that. And
it is kind of sour grapes because how many artists, black, white, who?
Hey y'all, if you like what you see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to hit that button right there. It'll take you to more clips, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast. See you back next time.